Okay, we're back after technical difficulties, and I was in the process of sharing this video. Let me pull it up here.
The premise.
One of my favorite bits is that when white people are rich, they're just rich forever and ever. Even their kids are rich.
Yeah.
But when a black guy gets rich, it's countdown to when he's poor again.
He's the blackest white guy I fucking know. And then all the negative things we think about black people, this fucker.
You're saying I'm a nigger.
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever.
Amazing.
I don't think he could do that.
Oh,
What?
I don't think he has those
There's only
qualities.
two.
you, I mean,
That I'm
no,
not-
you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about.
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We
use
say
that
nigger on stage.
on stage.
You guys don't. That's an
Yeah, that's the
interesting two
difference.
teams
That's the
here.
difference between
That's right. That's right. We
can
say
pair
nigger on
up in
stage. You
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who
We
says
say-
nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
You and me say
No,
nigger
no,
in
no,
private.
no.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private
I'm
much.
giving it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life. I
No,
don't
never.
think. No. Yeah, that's it. That's a huge difference between you and me. I think.
Well,
Is that I've said
you
it.
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
I mean,
So-
looking
Oh
aside,
my God, find a way. Find a way.
Can I squeeze?
You know what
comedy
though,
out of
Jerry?
nigger?
All of a sudden having a great nigger bit would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, that would
it would be amazing.
Oh, it'd be
I'm only-
amazing.
Because he retired it.
Yeah.
He retired it.
No, he
in
did.
'96.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, so Seinfeld was the
Oh
only
yeah, no,
thing.
I do remember. I remember that part. Yeah, no, I did see that, and it's beyond cringe. It's pretty it's pretty vile. But you know, again, that was Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais. I find both of them reprehensible as it is. I never found them funny anyway.
Right.
But they're like the shock jocks of the comedy
Right.
world. So I don't believe they truly. I think he was just trying to be edgy. I'm almost 100% positive Louis C.K.'s never ever used the N word in his comedy.
Yeah,
I think he was just
yeah.
saying
because I mean,
he has.
I actually there was a big deal about him and his comedy like a few years ago, and I would have to pull that up because I wasn't prepared to pull him up specifically. But
Well,
yeah,
the big thing was
he-
the big thing about him was the Me Too movement. He got canceled during the Me Too
that
thing
too,
because he was
yeah. But
he was saying cringy stuff
Yeah.
about young women and stuff.
mhm.
But no, again, I would have remembered. I'm not saying I know for sure. I don't really follow the guy, but I seriously did. I
Right.
think, and certainly Ricky Gervais. I don't think he does either. I think they were trying to be the problem is the culture of male stand-up comedians is to push the edge. That's their craft.
Right, I
So-
know, I understand that, but
Which is why Seinfeld, you could see he was just like he was the only one that had any sense
only
in that whole
one.
thing, and he was just like, what the hell is going on here?
right.
Yet at the same time, did you notice he's like, nor do I seek it, and then he made a joke out of it. Like he's still trying to be like, hey, I'm still part of that stand-up comedy thing. So he made a joke
Right.
about it, but he's like, are you guys fucking nuts?
He,
hell is wrong
but
with you
from
guys?
what I saw of that was like, nor do I seek it. But he was like,
Yeah.
he was because it was a totally uncomfortable. The whole thing was
Oh, I
uncomfortable.
know.
and
But
cringe.
what I mean
Yeah.
is, even when he was the only one that was pointing out the elephant in the room, he was
Right.
also saying he also still had to make a joke out of it because again, that's the culture of male stand-up
Mhm.
comedians. It's so that's where a lot of this super edgy stuff comes in.
There is another one, and I think they probably took it off, but there was a video. I didn't save it, but there was a video of him, a clip of his Chris Rock's show that he did on Netflix. And basically, he was saying, uh, my mom taught me or raised me that we weren't supposed to white or fight in front of white people. And then in the same breath, he calls women Jada, regardless of how you feel about Jada. I'm not a Jada fan either, but uh, then he proceeds to call her a B and this and that and this and that, and then go in on Meghan Markle. So though that's an issue in itself where he's wanting to be the agreeable, what I call the agreeable Negro, and he wants to be, he's a pick me, like, I'm not one of those black people. White people, please like me because I'm not one of those other black people. That type thing. I don't like people
Okay, perhaps
color.
I'm not sure exactly why saying that his mom said that they shouldn't fight in front of white people is a pick me thing.
Well, the way he was saying it was like historically, black people weren't supposed to like walk on the same sidewalk as white people. They were supposed to
Yeah.
call like the older generation raised black people that way because those were the rules. Like Jim Crow. Like
Mhm.
don't walk on the same
Mhm.
sidewalk as white people. Don't call all white people ma'am and sir and that type of thing. So it's along those kind of lines, not like, you know, because if anything, he could say, "Don't fight in front of anybody." Violence is not the solution for any situation, but he specifically said it in the context of uh, how black people are supposed to be demure in front of white people. That's what I'm trying to.
That's one way of looking at it, or the other is like, unfortunately, we're going to be judged by our actions. So, I make sure not to raise my voice because I'm going to be pegged as the angry black man or the angry black woman. So, we don't fight
Right,
in front because then they're going to peg us black people as being this, that, and the other belligerent.
right.
So
So
there's that too, which, yeah,
understood as
I
well.
guess,
But
I guess is not fair, but it's also a reality. But yeah, did you want to move on to the next clip? And
yeah,
also, uh, I do have to go run down and grab something real quick when it arrives. But I'll just pause my camera and you can keep going, and then I'll be right back within a couple
okay,
minutes.
I
So
will
just to
do
let you know,
that.
yeah.
Uh, Go ahead and do that, and I'm going to share
No.
this
When it's here,
clip.
but go ahead and yeah.
Okay, so let me flip this around here. There we go.
Congress is trying to ban TikTok, and it is worse than you think. Here's what you need to know. Tomorrow, Congress will consider a bill that effectively bans TikTok for people in the US, and the way that they're planning to do it will undermine our First Amendment rights for years to come. Quietly introduced by Texas Congressman Michael McCall over the weekend, the law would forbid US citizens from engaging with entities that may transfer sensitive personal data to a foreign entity that is subject to the influence of China, effectively banning TikTok and many other foreign businesses. It would also gut the Berman Amendment, which was passed in 1988 to protect our right to receive information, regardless of what country that information was created in. It's what keeps the US government from banning a book by a Chinese author simply because it's from China. And in this case, it means that you can't ban a social media app simply because the app is from a Chinese company. Whether it's sharing cat videos, discussing spy balloons, or watching this video right now, the First Amendment guarantees your right to express yourself both online and off.
Yeah, I know what she's pointing out is huge. It you can't say any. I don't know what else there is to say about that, but these are those, what I was saying, those unintended consequences that's going to just backlash. But in this case, it's just going to very severely curtail our civil liberties, which is why the ACLU is jumping in. What's it, the American Civil Liberties Union?
Right. That
But
was
the confusing thing to me as well is, weren't you saying that Oracle and what was it, Walmart bought TikTok? Who was
yes,
it?
it was.
Oracle and who?
Well, Microsoft was in the market. They were trying to purchase
Right.
the company as well, but
Hmm.
at the last minute,
And then it fell through,
fell
and then
through,
yeah.
and then Oracle and Walmart. So they're the ones with the
Hmm.
major stake that own the American offices of TikTok.
Okay, so then why is it still an issue of our data being leaked over?
Well,
If
they're
if they own it now.
well. The thing is, they are trying to make it seem like it is about data, but Mark Zuckerberg has been furiously spending millions of dollars to lobby politicians to get rid
I
of
understand.
TikTok.
We can go into that next because the next video will show that. But and I
Right.
agree. I get it. That's what this is actually about, and we'll get to that. But what is the justification for data breach when the owners of TikTok are now American companies? So
It's
why is it still
exactly
being
that.
argued that it's going to China?
Right. That, like I said, that the reason that they're trying to bring it back up again is because also besides Zuckerberg, the mainstream media corps, nobody is tuning in and getting news or clicking on their stuff anymore. So all of these entities are lobbying the
No,
politicians to get
I,
rid of it.
yeah, no, that's definitely the next video, and I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying, what is their justification that they're putting forth when it's American companies that own TikTok now? Why are they
Just
still
that
arguing that it's
they're arguing the data. That's what their justification is. Is like,
what they're saying? Because are the servers still over there?
yeah,
If so,
well,
if why don't they just bring them here? I mean, I
right,
don't,
but see,
I don't get it.
with the purchase of the like Oracle and Walmart purchasing, they have servers over here
So
that handle.
why is it arguing that the data is going to China? I mean, Oracle has you know jillions of terabytes of Oracle can put up a server in the blink of an eye. So I
It's
don't
just an
understand
excuse, and
why they're arguing.
they're trying to use China as a scapegoat, especially because they're going to their. That's why all this other news about they're bringing up the news about the COVID again, and they're throwing everything they can at the wall
Mhm.
to position themselves to be justified in their war against China, basically.
Okay, yeah. So did you want to play the next video? Because I think ultimately we're getting to the fact that yeah, this really is
Right.
about the fact that TikTok is sidestepping the controlled spaces of media, and that this is
Mhm.
it's too free form.
Mhm.
Um, so
Okay, let me flip this here.
TikTok getting banned is the biggest scam of 2023. The only reason why this is happening is because TikTok is destroying Facebook and Google. And rather than these two companies competing with TikTok, they are lobbying politicians to ban it. And by scaring people, saying that TikTok tracks everything you do. Here's a newsflash. Every social media platform and pretty much every app on your phone does that. All of it is bullshit. The reason why TikTok is getting banned is not because of China and the CCP having access to your data. It's because TikTok is a way better platform than YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and TikTok is destroying them in ad dollars. Every single business is pouring tons and tons of money into TikTok. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You already know mine.
uh, that pretty much says it. I think it's correct. The unspoken thing here is we you know Facebook should have never been allowed to buy Instagram. Google never been should have been allowed to buy YouTube. This is total um, monopoly. This should have been under antitrust. The government constantly rubber stamps these fucking deals. The level of corruption is just obscene.
Yep.
These companies are getting gigantically huge. You know, 15, 20 years ago, the big bad wolf was, GE, Monsanto, these mega corporations, these weapons manufacturers. Now the biggest corporations are media companies.
Mhm.
The controlling of thought is now, it's the weaponization of the media. I mean, we are in a real fucked up Orwellian situation.
And that's
It's
why they want to get rid of
insane.
TikTok.
Oh, I agree. It's the wild, wild west. I mean, people are saying all kinds of stuff on there. And like this, and they're making, there's nothing more that power needs to stifle than holding a mirror to them. This is a classic example of the emperor wears no clothes, and they need to make sure that the one guy who's like, the emperor's not wearing any clothes at all, if you guys don't know the fable,
Right.
there's a king who demands more and more amazing stuff, and these people are running out of ideas to make him look grand, and so finally this tailor has the gumption to dress him in nothing at all and just flatter him instead and say, oh, you can't see the clothes, but they're invisible. It's like the most grandest thing ever, and everyone falls in line and everyone flatters the king, and the king parades around, and everyone's like, oh, king, these are now the truly greatest threads you've ever worn. And so I think it's only one small child who's like, the emperor's not wearing any clothes at all. He's naked. So this is a fable of like, our society has become that. It was the Barbara Lee thing, which was very much put forward as that kind of emperor wears no clothes. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, the emperor's threads are great. And she's like, no, the emperor's naked. Like the Patriot Act is. The thing is, the things the Patriot Act agreed to were not even legal. It's completely unconstitutional. They voted in something that they couldn't vote in. It's just it's absurd.
So a lot of the what was the like the pork stuff that they threw in there, because they threw in a bunch of extra stuff too to sign it up under the Patriot Act.
What, in the Patriot Act? Oh, I mean, sure, there was a lot of underhanded ways of funding stuff, and that's pretty typical. But the major point is that they essentially gave up Congress's right to declare war. It's the last war the U.S. declared was World War II. And how many conflicts have we been in?
Right.
We've spent almost more or less every single year since World War II. We've been in armed conflict with multiple people. So,
and we're still dipping our toes into everybody else's business, because now they're getting ready to go after. Remember, we were talking about Uganda finding all those tons of gold. Keep your eyes on Uganda. Now they're getting ready to start manufacturing some kind of conflict over there because of all that gold. They don't want them to have all that gold, because now.
And this is something that you need that when you're looking for this is really important. It's important to see the role that liberals play in imperialism, and how does that work? For example, John Kerry. At one point, he was a very principled objector. He threw his medals at the White House, and during the Vietnam War, and then eventually he lost his seat. And when he returned, what did he return? He came back and he was a big critic of Noriega in Panama. Oh, the human rights violations. I'm not saying they weren't there, but the system, the imperialist system, uses liberals to criticize the important enemies of the state. And in this case, he was used to talk about Noriega's war crimes, which then justified the invasion there. So, again, with Iraq, I'm not saying there weren't human rights violations by Hussein, but again, it was the liberals who led the charge on, oh, Hussein is this horrible person, he did these horrible things, which are true, they were facts, but it was used as an excuse for invasion, etc. So the same thing was tried with Iran and New York and North Korea, and now watch, mark my words, it's going to be, oh, Uganda, they're very phobic. They're very they have all these laws against homosexuality. Oh, and they're gonna get the whole liberal class is gonna jump on board and ride that imperialist dick. It's gonna be fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. So that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna see this cynical exploitation and manipulation of the left. And for our audience, take a look at at this point, it's become old already, but Chris Hedges wrote a book called The Death of the Liberal Class. He's got many, many lectures on YouTube. So yeah, check that out. Basically, his argument is he's not suggesting that the liberal class is by any means um, truly serious about freedom and liberty and those kinds of things. However, they did used to serve a purpose, and that was to be a spigot for class tensions and for injustice. And what he's arguing is that we've reached such a extreme state that even the liberal class doesn't even do slight reforms anymore. That they don't even do that at all, and so therefore the state is no longer even open to even slight reform. So there's nothing left but rebellion. But yeah, if you wanted to continue, I'm going to go grab that delivery real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that. So because I'm pulling up another video here. Let me see. I'm trying to find Crutches and Spice. Let me see. It might be easier for me to find her on here. So Crutches and Spice. If you guys don't know who Crutches and Spice is, follow her on Twitter. Follow her on TikTok. We really don't know where this TikTok thing is going to go, but I have a link in my bio that you can click, and you can find me on all of my other social media sites. On my Anchor site, the podcast site, my YouTube page, the website that I have. So you will be able to find me somewhere. I'm also on Spoutable, which I set up an account there after Elon got Twitter. Also, what was the other place? Post News. I have an account on Post News. So, but right now I'm trying to find Crutches and Spice video about, let me see, TikTok. She does a lot of really good in-depth videos. So let's see. And also in the meantime, call Congress and tell them that you do not want them to ban TikTok. Regardless of whether you use TikTok or not, TikTok is a spot for marginalized voices, and it's very important to have a platform that we can go to organize in our marginalized communities, especially POC. So here is one video. Let's see. No, that's not it. I thought I found it. I'm sorry. Let me put this on real quick. I'm still looking for the video, so I just put on some intermission music here. Let's see.
Sorry, what happened?
I was trying to find the video, and I didn't want any dead air, so I just put on a intermission.
So I didn't miss anything?
Nope. Let's see. I wonder if she had it taken down. because
What video?
so Crutches and Spice is a disabled content creator. She's a writer and a model, and she makes content about disability advocacy. And she's a bipan, and she uses the pronoun she/her. But she speaks out on like the TikTok ban because her community, especially this disability community, they will be tragically affected if TikTok is banned. So that's just an example of an acute community that will be affected by ableism and the ban on TikTok. TikTok is a platform where she's able to, like, she won't be heard on mainstream media, so she's able to get the word out and advocacy for other disabled people on TikTok, and that's why this supposed ban is problematic. But I was looking for a specific video. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna have to find it and then have it for another podcast. But anyway, she's a very, very important voice. I'm gonna show you her profile here because this is Women's Month, so she's someone everyone should follow on all of her platforms. So here's Imani Barbarin, Crutches and Spice, Black Girl Magic, Disabled Pride, Global Comms, and Things Disabled People Know. So she's a disability advocate and a writer. That's her new book, I believe. But she's on Twitter. She's on TikTok. I think she has a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. But I wanted to share her page here. And she's a model. So I think that's a good way to close out on this segment of our show. And Charles, I'm going to meet up with you after I log off here. We're going to meet up in conference, and I would like to thank all of our listeners. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Go to our website, leave suggestions, give us feedback, and we really appreciate you supporting our show. And we will see you on the next podcast.